January of 2006, I'd been having some breathing problems, and after a few trips to the emergency room and lots of doctor's trips, found myself on the operating table, and they found I had lung cancer, which was pretty, I would assume it's always a big shock when people find they have cancer, but I'm not a smoker, and so I always felt like, wow, you know, this is real irony. For me, just with a lot of the things I'd gone through in my life, it just kind of felt like, you know, what else is there? I mean, it was just like one event after another, and then, you know, here comes this, bam, here comes this biggest hit of all, and how do I deal with that? And it wasn't but a few months after that when we had the message of, you know, what God wants is for you to trust Him. And where that really sank into me, where it really became action for me, was when I was going in for another one of my CT scans, and I can't even remember which one it was because I've had so many of them now, but I remember you're laying there on the table, and they're about to send you into the tube, and you know, you hold your breath literally, but you're also kind of holding your breath mentally as far as, you know, what are they going to find this time? And I just remember closing my eyes and saying, okay, God, I trust you. From that point on, I've really never had anxiety going into that CT tube. Cancer tends to make you very defensive-minded, and it gets you thinking about what you don't want to happen instead of what you do want to happen. I hope it doesn't get worse. I hope they don't find this. And it bleeds over into your life in general. Gee, I hope everything at work goes okay. Gee, I hope, you know, the car keeps running. And it can really have a very negative impact on your life in general. And I remember getting to the point where I actually made the decision that I wasn't going to let that be my thought process anymore. I wasn't going to think defensive-minded. I was going to think about the positive things that I wanted to have happen. You know, I wanted to think about the good things. I wasn't going to think about the bad things that might happen. And really one of the key ingredients for that really was to be able to stay focused on God. For me, to truly allow God to be my master, it was a lot tougher for those other things to get a hold on my life, because there wasn't a void that they could come in and fill, because God had that void. You know, those things that you hope don't happen to you. Well, I don't worry about that so much anymore, because I know there's really no space for them to go in and get a hold of.